I'm going to speak to my local boys first because I would rather do something local in my area because I believe in supporting my area. I don't believe in this running around doing 6 million gigs a night and all the rest of it. And plus it's nice and comfortable. If you all go away on holiday, everybody goes away. You know what I mean? It's family. That's how I look at it. So that's what I'd rather do.
This is his number and I'll sort it out. Fire away.
The things we have to do as residents and promoters, you know, putting people on guest lists. But you know, the powers that be.
It's about creating something. That's what I do when I'm out there playing records. And I think the most successful DJs that I see out there, they're creative. You know, whether it be singing over the top of their own tracks, whether it be playing percussion, whether it be getting a sampler, whether it be mashing together two totally strange types of music. I mean, it's about creativity. It's about communicating a character, an image, and, you know, creating something positive for the crowd out there. And it can't be divorced away from what they need. It's got to be something that they can appreciate and understand. The role of the DJ, I think, hasn't evolved in any way over the last few years. I think the punter has become more educated. Whereas before they would tolerate somebody standing there on a microphone, talking absolute nonsense and playing silly party games and throwing peanuts around. Now they actually want to hear, they actually want to hear good music, you know, vocals, pumping groove, whatever it may be, and they're actually clued up, you know, they know what they're listening to. And if it's doo-doo, then they're going to tell you in one way or another, whether it be throwing something at you, coming up there and poking you in the eye or whatever it may be, they're going to let you know. So I think the crowd more so has become more educated, and so they have evolved as opposed to, and that then has forced the role of the DJ to possibly not change, but be more concise. Me personally, I haven't got an aspiration as to where this music is going to go. I mean, what Mark and I create is an experience. It's not garage, it's not house, it's not hip-hop, but it will be categorised. What we create is an experience, and that is how we feel at the time, how we're influenced at the time by whether it be a death in the family, whether it be a birth in the family, whatever. We are communicating via a means. So whether this music sounds the same in 10 years or whether it sounds the same in 20 years, it doesn't matter. It's how we're feeling, it's how we're expressing ourselves. Yes, it is moulded to a degree at the present moment in time by the media, but when we get to the stage of being able to create music, if we want to create it, we will create it however we want to do it. Because it won't be an element of we've got to please the public, it will be an element of we would like the public to experience this. So that is my aspiration.
Where I'd like to be is where records that we make are still played in 10 years, 20 years time and don't sound dated, horrible, you know. For the particular genre, whatever pigeonhole they're going to use at the moment, they are good examples.
The reason why he wants that to happen is so that we can still collect the royalties off it, basically. Fair play.
Cool.
That's a black thing.
Often people come and ask me advice on what to do to become a DJ, and I'd like to say, oh, you know, practice and you know, make sure you listen to your records well and choose good records, and you know, be a talented DJ. But I'd be lying if I gave advice like that. The truth is get as much hype as possible. Make sure you take drugs with the right people, you know. That's what it's all about. It's all about hype and publicity and getting your photo in the magazines and getting articles in the magazines. It's just like the movie world, you know.
Well, what do the resident DJs offer something different to circuit DJs? I mean, when you've got a big name coming to your club to play.
The good thing about a resident is that they're doing it every week, so they know their crowd, they know what their crowd is into, and they can play records, you know, and break them. They can play them every week until the audience gets to love that record. You know, when you're a circuit DJ, you're going to a new club, you might not be back there for another 6 months, you know, so you can't break records in the same way. So yeah, the resident DJs are very important.
Well, I think that very often resident DJs are kind of the unsung heroes of dance culture. Rather than going all over the place and clocking up motorway miles like the likes of me do, resident DJs sit in their own clubs, work their own crowds, and it's an immense skill. It's the ultimate way of teaching yourself to do your job properly. And I think within that category, there's no better than Kiddo, basically. And if he did want to go off and play in all other sorts of clubs, and I don't know, Trawley's, Wares, nationwide, then I'm sure he'll be able to do so. But I doubt he'll ever forget and fail to come back to his original haunt, the Canal Club.
I think the Canal Club is definitely one of the clubs that has shown the way of the way clubs have got to go. With the open licensing now, every bar's, you know, a club used to be a bar with a sound system in it. Now you've got to expect more than that from a club because all the bars have got the licenses, and this is the way forward. The way it is, you know, they're the people you've got to satisfy. It's the hardcore clubs, and this is what they want. This is what they need. Because they're sick of just going into a bar with a sound system in, you know what I mean? And you can get that anywhere now until 2 o'clock. Clubs have got to be giving them that much more, which is what, you know, they deserve as well.
How often do you play here?
Not often enough, actually. But I play about every 6 weeks, 8 weeks, whenever I can fit them in. But this guy's right up my alley. Kiddo, when he shakes your hand, right? He breaks it, tries to break every finger. This is a good move if you're a DJ. Let's face it, there's nothing in the, you know, there's nothing on this planet like England. We are definitely, you know, we're definitely, I mean, people are jealous of what we've got. I mean, we've got it big time jealous.
I mean, the only people I'm interested in keeping happy are the people on the dance floor, the people who I'm accessible to. So that's who I want to keep happy, and as far as I'm doing that, then whoever I'm working for is happy because I'm pulling the people in and making sure that they have a good time and they're taking money. So that, to me, is what's important. And maybe the industry, or, you know, whoever, I'm not really bothered. You know, maybe trying to put the elements of fame on it, maybe trying to put the elements of, he must be earning lots of money because he's DJing here, there and everywhere. Who gives a monkey's trump? As long as people are happy and you know, the punter is happy, who's the most important person, because without the punter, a DJ is nothing. You know, we can all think we're wonderful and play the most underground records, play the most interesting records, but if Joe Public doesn't like it, or Mr. Underground Punter doesn't like it, then, you know, who are you? You're nobody, you're nothing. So it's more about appealing to the punter.
It's all